come on in, sit down, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's talk too much. This has been a crazy week. I think we can all agree on that. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I'm kind of an outsider on it. I wasn't a huge fan of him. I never subscribed. I only ever really saw his clips. Uh, I wasn't like I wasn't into his stuff very much. I kind of like watching more upbeat topics, things like that. But it's crazy right now. You see all the people out there, they're laughing about it, they're mocking it. And I'm like, bro, there's two kids and a wife who just lost their dad. Probably in front of them. These two children have experienced an extreme amount of trauma. And I was just like, why? This is crazy. Why are they laughing? Why are they joyous? And I took my emotions out of it for a second because the idea that that could happen as a father and a husband was like, holy crap. That was just like, my stomach fell out from under me thinking about that for my kid. But I took that aside and I was like, why? Why are these people doing this? I don't understand it. Let me think about it. And I think the left-wing media has been amping up this particular tension, and it started in like 2017 when some white nationalist guy whose name I can't fucking remember, I don't care, got punched, and everybody was like, yeah, punch Nazis, and it became this thing, and like news articles were running stories being like, oh, is it okay? And then right, and I was always like, no, you can't just punch a person because you disagree with them. If you disagree with them, you talk about it, and the better ideas win. So the news and the media and society, I guess in a way, social media really pushed this and kind of made it okay to be violent against Nazis. And then what they did, the media and social media and the likes, went out there and started calling anybody who didn't agree with them names. You're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a bigot. And then it escalated, and eventually it was, you're a Nazi. Now, I don't think this was planned. There's no like Illuminati in the background that's got a master plan to get everybody violent that I know of. But I think this is just kind of a standalone complex, a bunch of things building on itself. Let's get that out of the way. So you got the media started and was like, hey, and social media kind of made it acceptable to punch Nazis. Now, in this phase, step 2, next drop in this bucket, they started calling anybody who disagreed with the left a Nazi. It started with racist, right? It started with bigot, and then it was racist, and then it was sexist, and then it was Nazi. Now everybody who's against the left or speaks out against them is a Nazi. Remember, first drop, it's okay to punch Nazis. Now it's okay to be violent against these people because they're Nazis. Step 3, another drop of many, you've got this movement that kind of came around that starts claiming and proclaiming that words are violence, and socialized it, got it popular in the zeitgeist, I guess, to make it violent to speak out against people. And this is kind of built on itself over and over, and become more and more now, where you hear about it on college campuses. This is a safe space. I shouldn't have to hear these things, which is ridiculous, right? You do not have a right to not hear things you disagree with, especially in colleges. You should go to college to have your ideas challenged. You should look to have your ideas challenged anyway. But that's not what's going on. That's not where we are. No, 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 no. Words are violence. Violent rhetoric. You hear these things. It's just words, people. You should not be afraid to speak. And that's kind of what it is. They've made words violence. And now you've got the trifecta in place that anybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi. And by you, I mean left-wing ideology specifically. Because there's not a right-wing analog to this. You're just a Nazi because you disagree with them. Even if you agree 90%, that 10% makes you full on a Nazi. And if you speak those disagreements, you're violent. And remember, the first thing they did, they made it okay to be violent against Nazis. So you got all these people out there dancing and singing. And I was like, I thought about it. I put all this together. And why are they dancing and singing? Because in their world, they just stopped Hitler. Because socially, through media, they've kind of put all these things together. And I think the only way forward is for media to accept that they did this. They have to take accountability for it. And then they have to come out and start unweaving the lies that they've told about these things. You can't just disagree with somebody and then call them a Nazi and then make it okay to punch Nazis and then let the violent rhetoric build. And I've seen people kind of try to argue this, and they're like, yeah, well, the left does it too, or the right does it too. That doesn't help. Two wrongs don't make a right. So your point that the right does it too is irrelevant. That's not what the conversation is. Even if the right does it, which they do, there's violent right, sure, okay, and someone was assassinated for talking, and your only defense is that the right is also violent, but you don't want to take accountability for how you got the left violent. This is deflection. It's lack of accountability. Every time you hear one of these whataboutisms in regards to something this extreme, I feel like is always a lack of accountability showing its ugly head. Somebody, a father and a husband, was murdered in front of his family. And you can't even take the moment to try to understand how your side got you there. And now people are in the streets celebrating because a man died, because a father was taken from children, a husband taken from a wife, a family shattered, people hurt. And the media needs to step up and be like, wow, we messed this up. Charlie Kirk is not a Nazi. Stop attacking people. Stop claiming that somebody you disagree with is a Nazi. And for the love of God, stop saying words are violence. It's not helping anybody. These things are from the left, and this is how they have escalated the violence and promoted it within their own circles, right? And again, I'm not talking about the right. I don't want to bring them up. I'm not. Different conversation. Stay on topic. The left, right now, has built a violent rhetoric. They've they've built this. You've pushed it, and now, well, I say now, but this has obviously been going on for a while. You've got Hassan Piker having been calling for the murder of Republicans or righties for a long time. Tectone put a video together and shared it. And so this is also like, now you've got another drop in the bucket. You've got social media people actually calling for violence, and no one's doing anything. These people that are calling for violence need to be held accountable, and the news media need to hold themselves accountable, or there needs to be legal actions against them to some degree. They have to. If they want to build back any shred of accountability, they need to come out for a while and start being like, hey, this was unacceptable. This is our part in it. This is how we built this. It's not okay to do these things. It's not okay to punch Nazis. You talk to Nazis unless they get violent. It's not okay to shoot these people. It gonna get bad if they don't. I don't know what to tell you, but tensions are high, and this is the shot heard around the world 2.0. Now they're out there justifying murder, assassinations, and you've lost the plot.